everyone, and welcome to IGN Anime Club, episode 48. Yay, anime!
Yay, anime!
I'm your host, Marina Sanchez. Joining me is Mike Amon.
Hey,
Megan Sullivan.
I'm back.
Callie Plaguey.
Hello.
We're all back.
We're all back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I wasn't here, but like nobody was here last week.
Yeah, so
We're
sick.
back.
Yeah, you were out at an event.
I was, I'm still sick. So it's all fine.
But you got that sexy Kathleen Turner voice going on.
Yay, anime. How was your weekend, Megan?
It was very good. A lot of stuff happening. WrestleMania was this weekend. And if anime fans tune into that, you saw New Day come out in kick-ass Dragon Ball Z outfits, which was amazing.
Yeah, I think even if you weren't in wrestling, you saw it anyway because it was everywhere.
It was so good.
Yeah, usually when wrestling stuff comes on, I'm just like, oh, time to get off Twitter. Sorry. But then I was like, yeah, they're just like Saiyans. Cool.
No, my Twitter feed was like all wrestling this weekend, but then it was just like sort of anime. And I was like,
Yes.
all right.
Xavier Woods is a huge anime fan, so love to have him on the show. That would be awesome. But yeah, so that happened
Awesome.
this weekend. That was really cool.
And then why were you out?
Why was I out? Well, I was at the Square Enix event last week, the big uncovered Final Fantasy event, which was really, really good. They had surprises even I didn't know about. So, for example, like talk about Kingsglaive, because Kingsglaive is the CG movie going into Final Fantasy 15. It looks really super gorgeous. If you're a fan of Advent Children or you're a fan of Spirits Within, is anyone a fan of Spirits Within? Well, it looked very pretty. It looked very pretty. And Alec Baldwin was in it for some reason. But yeah, so Kingsglaive is a full-length, 110-minute movie feature that is focused on Prince Noctis's father, King Regis, who is voiced by Sean Bean. So rip King Regis, because if you're voiced by Sean Bean or played by Sean Bean, that's the end of your character.
Also, Regis is the most kingly name.
Literally.
Straight up regal.
Yeah, it's literally Latin for like king or kingly.
Yeah.
And Lena Headey, I never know how to
Headley?
pronounce it. Yeah, she
Headey?
is Headey.
Yeah.
Lena Headey.
The woman from Game of Thrones.
Cersei.
Yes.
Cersei.
Cersei.
Yeah, Cersei. Yeah, I just like, oh,
She's-
Cersei's here.
Yeah, she's Luna Freya, which I thought was kind of a crazy twist. And then, true story, I got a sneak preview of the movie trailer on Tuesday, and they showed the character Nyx, and I was like, that looks like Aaron Paul. Saw it again at the event. That looks like Aaron Paul. Greg Miller was like, and now introducing the voice of Nyx, Aaron Paul. And I was like, surprise! What is happening? So yeah, this is definitely about crystals, all right.
It's always funny how they always bring that in. Like, I almost feel bad for them. Like, sorry, you're going to be talking about crystal meth forever.
Yeah, that's just part and parcel of what you do now.
That's what happens
Anyways.
when Breaking Bad is amazing. So,
Yep.
that's
Looks
fine.
amazing. Can't wait to see it. Comes out this year. So, yep, that's all the news. Oh, and Brotherhood, which we'll talk about later, that I reviewed.
Which
the
you get
first
to review.
Yeah, I just reviewed the first episode of Brotherhood Final Fantasy.
Which you can check out on IGN.com. It's a really cool website. You might have heard of
You
it.
can also read it on one of our apps.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yes.
can.
You
there
can.
are many. There are many.
We have a
apps.
mobile app.
We
It's
do.
all it's all
on-
nice and updated.
It's on PS4, on
have-
Xbox.
Yes, my preferred way of viewing anything because I'm a Sony fangirl. but if you are an Xbox fan, you can actually watch us on the Xbox app as well.
Yeah.
As well
I do
as
that
the-
because that controller for life.
Yeah.
That controller is pretty hot.
I don't play shooters on any other controller. Fight me.
Me too.
Oh.
Same. We have
That's fair.
standards.
That's
We
fair.
have we have standards. Sorry. don't attack me.
But you can also check out on Roku and Apple TV, which we do have. as well.
Ooh.
That's right.
Well,
I had a Roku once.
Anime Club everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put us
anime.
in anime.
Put us on your big screen. Yeah, so this weekend was also kind of the end of winter, which is sad. Bye forever. No,
Yeah.
and we started spring season. So
Yes.
that's pretty much our entire episode.
I really don't know what happened to winter.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about
Boom.
spring. Winter just kind of like
Just flew by.
It did.
That's fine with me. I don't like winter
I didn't.
as a season.
I like winter as a
Don't.
season, but it's
cold.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's pretty strong as an anime season. In some regards.
Wow. You know, we'll get.
I'm trying to.
There's a
go
few
through
things.
that.
We'll touch on that later. But looking towards the future,
Yes.
we watched a
Yeah.
lot of spring.
Wait, what?
We watched a lot of
We
spring.
did watch a lot of
Yes,
spring.
we
But
did.
Sorry, my voice just
No,
gave
yeah.
out.
I was just like, wait, what? I can't. What? Who's this? Who's on the phone?
I'm a ghost.
Yeah, but I'm still catching
before
up
we
on
jump to
winter.
spring, though, we do want to kind of get back onto winter, like what we're finishing up on.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of great stuff. Erased is number one forever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Sorry, everything else it doesn't even matter. But I'm just kidding. Like there were other great things.
Yeah, there's a lot I want to catch up on for sure.
Such as?
Showa.
Yeah. Me
No,
too.
Megan called it. I definitely need to catch up on Showa. I've heard nothing but great things about that show. And the only reason I'm not caught up in it was because the first episode's an hour, and I was like, I don't know.
Oof.
And then I just,
really?
I didn't finish it. Yeah, I never even got past the first episode because I was like, an hour? And
It's so good.
also, I've been super busy. I've done like 3 reviews in 3 weeks, and I'm doing a lot. But
Tired lady.
I'm a very tired lady. But also Osomatsu.
Yeah, same here. I also want to catch up on Showa. I watched the first episode all the way through and then never went back. It's not because I didn't like it. It's just because I kind of got put on the back burner and I forgot about it. Like this past season, I think for all of us was just unusually busy. Like winter isn't.
It's usually not busy
crazy
around
in the office.
in our.
In January.
But there's like an event, like two,
there's
like
so
1 or
much
2 a
this
month now for games, and it just consumes our life.
What we had? When was PSX? I don't even remember. Like I've lost track of
December.
time. Okay, so not PSX, but we had GDC,
Yeah.
and
There's a lot more events, a lot more releases. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Square Enix
short.
event is perfect. Like now, developers are actually breaking out their own events on top of all the events that we have to cover.
Really cool, but also just a busy time all the time now. But yeah, so to reiterate, I didn't not finish Showa's first episode because I didn't like it. I really enjoyed it, but it was like 10 p.m. when I started or something. This was months ago.
Oh.
But I was like, 10 p.m. What if I ate ice cream and went to bed? And I probably did that.
That's an anime.
Eating ice cream and going to bed?
Yeah.
It's my,
That's
if
it.
my
That's
life were an anime.
spinoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so gotta finish that. I want to catch up on Osomatsu. I watched part of the first season, then had to stop, and so I'm really behind. But that's also really exciting because then I get to catch up on all of it at once, and I know it's really good.
Yeah.
So excited about that. I have to finish Grimgar because I mostly enjoy that, but I also think it's kind of boring. But
It's very slowly paced.
It's very slow. It's about the relationships. It's not about the fantasy world. Like, because there's a billion. Like, we've been transported to a fantasy world, and instead of focusing on why they're there or about this strange place, they're like, let's focus on our team and team building exercises. But sometimes that gets boring because it tries to pull these certain emotional cues in, but we're not that tied to these characters yet, so I don't really care. That's the problem with it. But I think it is getting better. I mean, the second half seems like it's better. But
Yeah, I'm on the
And we'll finish
last
it.
episode. I think it's the only one I haven't seen.
Oh,
yet.
nice.
So yeah,
I'll have to-
Nice.
yeah,
Oh, I
I
like
enjoy
them
it.
later.
It's something different, but you do have to go in with the mindset of this is a lot slower paced, and it's really character driven as opposed to plot driven.
Yes.
So
Okay.
just keep that in mind. Very pretty watercolors.
yeah, I like
Pretty
Red
well
Rock a
done.
lot.
Yeah.
It's very
I'll
pretty.
revisit it.
Right.
And what else? You
I think we have Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans on our
Yes.
list.
Yeah, people keep recommending
What are we
that,
gonna do?
so I want to give it a
Yeah.
second chance.
I just finished it and I liked it.
It's-
For a standalone
oh,
Gundam. It's
nice.
very entertaining. Yeah, and then they announced another season already for fall 2016 this year.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do because it kind of caps off. I'm not quite sure what they're gonna do with another season, but yeah, I loved it and can't wait to watch more. to be
And
honest.
just to reiterate, you don't have to be a longtime Gundam fan to
no,
follow
you
this.
don't. Yes,
That was
Which-
my main barrier to entry there, is I wasn't
Yeah.
sure, like, how much do I need
Do you
to
have
know
to
about
go all the way
Gundam?
back to 1978, where the
Yeah.
start of the entire franchise is, or can I just jump
Yeah.
right in?
I'll talk
Yeah.
more about that later. But
Cool.
yeah, this one is a standalone, and I tend to watch the standalones anyway. To be honest, like I think the only ones that from the main storyline, Gundam Wing, is like the only one I actually watch. But there's a lot more, and I just could never get into those. So yeah, this one's great for if you love mechs and Gundam and
like
don't
mechs.
follow. Yeah, there you go.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's why you're watching.
yeah. I got
But yeah.
another thing where I got to see the first episode. I was like, wow, abs. Okay, I've got too much to work on.
It's really just
Yeah.
the one guy.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean that first
Orga.
episode though, there's a lot of abs.
All right. Well,
Okay,
it's cold in
I
space.
don't remember you telling me this.
I'm pretty sure we had a thing where we're like, wow, there's a lot of abs this season.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then-
we totally did.
yeah. Now it rings a bell.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Yeah. So, Mike, what else did you want to get back into?
So Dimension W, I'm trying to finish. I fell off that. It just like,
Same.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Somewhere in the middle, it just kind of just got weird, and like they started introducing a lot more characters, and then a bunch of flashbacks here and there, and I'm just like, okay. I'm so because then they're trying to explain how Dimension W works, which is like
Oh.
an energy source in the anime, and I'm just.
The other axis.
Yeah, exactly. It just threw me off, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I totally forgot about it. And I have like one more episode before I finish it, so I'll be doing that
Yeah.
for sure. Haikyuu just finished.
Oh, I want to do Haikyuu too.
Haikyuu this season was the best.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
so
Oh my
Oh my
excited
gosh.
to
I wanted
catch
to watch
up.
about I wanted to talk about the last podcast, but they pretty much had this like huge like match, and it was back and forth. And what's great about Haikyuu is that it's probably the best anime that represents sports in reality. Like when people lose, they're crying, they're sad, but they put themselves on like next year, that sort of thing, right? Like Princess Stride, on the other hand, is like, hey, there's a boy band, but we're also a running team. And then and when they lose, like, good job. It's just like, this is not typical like slice of life. So yeah, Haikyuu, this is a great season. And they're coming back too.
I really want to catch up on Haikyuu because my whole Tumblr, I don't know why I go on Tumblr because I hate that website. I'm trapped there. But like everybody on my Tumblr feed is just reblogging like Haikyuu fan art. And I'm like, this is something that is relevant to my interest. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And relevant to my interest too because it's like, we ship these boys. And I'm like, all right. So, but just as a show, it sounds really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
And I've only heard good things about the show, not just like the fandom and stuff. So I'm excited to start catching up on that.
Oh yeah, definitely finish it.
Someday.
One day I'll have time.
Dagashi Kashi, although Dagashi Kashi is like Umaru. Whenever I watch the show, I get a craving for absolute massive junk food.
That's why you got to Daiso first and then go home.
Right? So I used to, so Callie knows this. Every time I watch Umaru, I'd go to the vending machine, get sour cream potato chips and a Coke, like not even a diet soda, like a Coke, and hate myself and love myself while I was watching Umaru. And with Dagashi Kashi, I go get like candy and like chocolate snacks whenever I watch it because I have to. It's almost a requirement to eat junk food when you're watching a thing about basically junk food.
Yeah, and I used to eat dinner while watching Food Wars. Like it's just you have to do that.
You have
But
to.
then you're kind of sad
it was
because you're eating food that's way less
Oh,
than what they're making.
It was like Kraft macaroni and cheese, but like, I mean, I used to eat dinner watching Walking Dead, so it was a massive upgrade.
Yeah, so I was going to say, how can you eat while watching Walking Dead is beyond me. Beyond.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm afraid to watch Dagashi Kashi, honestly, because I'm going to buy some Pocky. I'm going to buy those little Apollo strawberry chocolates because those are the best.
Those are good.
Those are so good. And then I'm going to buy like 6 boxes and then just, I'm going to lose track of how many boxes I've eaten. I'm really afraid.
Exactly. it's the best and the worst. But yum. Shoppity snacks. They're terrific.
Yeah, that one just seems like a big old advertisement. It's like, hey, you should buy our snacks.
I can't tell from the fan art I've seen if that show is supposed to be ecchi or is just the fan art.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of fan service going on there.
Because I watched like one episode and I was like, I feel like this is going in a direction.
Is that the one where they're eating the soup and it's like the third episode and she's like eating soup and like the air conditioning?
All I know is that button-up shirt would not fit like that. That's all.
Just saying. There's some fan service.
Yeah, so what else, Megan? You have one more thing on here.
I said Myriad Colors. I like that show. Yeah. Even its little bit of ecchi is actually like cleverly done and kind of cute. And
it's not like really ecchi so much as just like light fan service.
It's very light fan service.
I definitely want to catch up on that one.
I like the characters. They're actually likable. The main character's likable. So, yep, that one as well, because it's very pretty.
Yeah, I'm halfway through that one. That's another one I need to catch up on. So much. Oh, gosh. It sounds like we didn't watch anything, huh? But we did watch Erased.
True. We watched
I watched
so much
Erased.
It's true.
Oh, Erased, so good.
I'm going to miss Erased. But it was really great. That's easily one I could recommend to anybody.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody to watch. I'm like, oh, why didn't you watch? Just go watch it right now. What are you talking
This
to
is
me
the
for?
kind of anime you'd recommend to non-anime fans who are like, I don't like anime and magical girls and Gundam. And I'm like, well, go watch Erased and then come back and tell me how right I am about everything.
I suggested it to my mom because she has that Crunchyroll premium subscription she got specifically for Food Wars. And I'm like, maybe you should watch something else. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'll report back.
I love that your mom watches anime.
Yeah, that's great.
She's so neat.
So I guess that kind of wraps up from winter. There's a lot. We're going to have a bigger wrap-up later of the best shows of winter. So look at that for that on IGN.com, a very cool site
yes,
that you
and
should
tell
visit
us
sometimes.
About your favorite winter anime on our Facebook group.
Wow, you can visit that at facebook.com/group/IGN Anime Club. It's called the IGN Anime Club official group.
Yeah. And you're all the best because we have the best people on
It's seriously
group.
the best group. If you're looking for an intelligent group of people that genuinely care about
warm and
anime
welcoming
and aren't going to completely judge you if you have a different opinion, then that's a pretty good place to go.
It's pretty good.
Just saying.
Yep.
Anyway, let's get on to spring. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
I went in this season knowing a lot, but also not, because I kind of knew it was coming out, but I didn't really get into the full synopsis of everything, because I found that I like shows more when I have surprises. Reading synopsis and stuff is good for learning things, but because I have to watch so much anyway, it's kind of got fun to go in blind, and so then things are more surprising. But one thing I was not blind about was Brotherhood Final Fantasy 15.
Yes.
So that was a cool little surprise. Just like the anime came out on YouTube and everywhere, and it was only like
You can
10
watch it on
minutes.
IGN.com, actually.
Yes, you can. In
Wow.
fact, you can watch it in my review of the first episode, right smack in the middle. It drove me nuts. Some people in the comments are like, where can I watch it? Scroll back up. Couple paragraphs. See that big giant video in the the middle of the review? Click on that.
It's really pretty.
It's really pretty. So
Also,
it's done by
got some
A1
good
Productions.
hamburgers.
It's got some good husbando.
Ooh, yes. Ooh, those abs though. So when I was at the event, and we had the Gladiolus abs section. So like some girls were cheering for Prompto, and I was like, it's all about the man with the abs, the adult.
I'm all about
gorgeous
the
man.
boy with the hair.
Yeah.
That's always my pick, is the boy with the hair.
The boy with the hair, the boy with the abs. But anyway, so it is a very pretty anime. It's done by A1 Productions, and you would know them from Sword Art Online and Your Lie in April. So you knew, if nothing else, this is going to be a pretty anime. And it's very short, easy to watch.
Yep.
So, yes, if you want to know what I gave it, go to IGN.com on all of our apps, including i4, PS4, Xbox, etc., etc.
Yeah, so then while you read the review, then you can watch the show right there, because it's been embedded.
What did you guys think of it, though?
I liked it. I think it was like just a nice little introduction to like what we're gonna get from the show. Do you remember how this fits in like to the game? Like
Yes.
where it fits in relevance to it? Because
So this is sort of, I assume, towards the beginning. They just left Noctis's
feel-
kingdom. He's on his way. It says so in the anime. He's on his way to go marry Luna Freya, and sort of the point of this episode is to show you everything you can do in the game. So that's why it's sort of like a road trip thing.
Right.
Like some people complain, it's like, oh, there's nothing really happening. Like the point of this episode is to net a broader audience by showing them what you can do in the game. So you can drive around listening to Final Fantasy music, and you can go camping where you can redeem all your experience
some bro
points
time.
and some bro time.
Can I take out my veggies in my burger and then put them on the chicken?
Okay, that's my favorite part of just sulky Noctis. Like, I used to do that when I was like 12. Okay, you take
I
the
still do
lettuce
that.
and you put it, and he's putting it on Ignis's plate.
that's why you
which-
just ask them for no
No
lettuce.
lettuce. Yeah.
Don't waste the food.
Right. I
don't
mean,
waste the
you
food, but-
give it to somebody else, or you just say, I want a plain. So I started laughing because I remember someone edited that gif of Zoolander where they're in the car
Oh, yeah.
with all their faces.
Oh, that movie was made for this game.
Yeah.
Like, or somebody
It's the
on the
bro trip.
It's the bro trip where
Yeah.
it's like someone on the Final Fantasy team
That's funny.
saw Zoolander and was like, yep, we're going to create an entire game around that one scene.
So
of them
on
just-
scene until they die at the gas station. Anyway, watch
You
Zoolander.
can, you can light your friends on fire in that game, by the way, if they're in the area of effect where
So-
fire is.
Oh,
but
yes.
anyway,
you can
so
light them on fire.
anyway, besides the giggling, I do think it's cool that they showcased what's going on in Final Fantasy 15 with this show and didn't make it like too much of an advertisement. Like it's still an enjoyable little episode. It's not a full length 24-ish
Yeah, it's
minutes. It's what,
bookends by,
15
like,
or something? So I thought that was well done. And
it's bookended by sort of like this very tense moment where,
Right.
Noctis is about to get killed by a monster, and then he sees the monster at the end, so you kind of want to keep watching to see what happens.
Right. For
sure.
That was cool.
So it's also kind of weird because this is a prequel story. Like it is listed as a prequel. It's gonna be 6 episodes. They're all 10 minutes each. So you get like a little hour of a prequel, but at the same time, I feel like this would be a part we'd want to play in the game. So I wonder how that'll like affect that, or if it's just kind
It's
of
actually tied also into the Platinum demo.
okay.
So there's an injury that Noctis gets when he's little, and if you pay attention during the Platinum demo, which you can download for free, and Noctis gets an injury, and these kind of tie together. So they're trying to tie all this stuff together. You don't have to see all of them to understand what's going on, but they're interconnected.
right.
So
Yeah, I wonder what kind of edge we'll get by watching this before playing the game. But
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. I don't know. It's still fun, like regardless if you're gonna play it or not. I think it's just a little
it's just a nice little anime, if
Little
nothing
bit.
else. It's
Yeah.
pretty.
short.
I appreciate it too, because like when I played Final Fantasy 13, I was so confused. So hopefully, with
Don't get me
this one-
started on 13.
Hopefully, this one
I,
helps out.
I've never played a Final Fantasy, so
I've only played Type 0, so
No, I mean it's good. I like that game, but that is not where to start.
I know.
Because
So
it's a PSP
that-
game that got ported.
That's the reason. That's the reason I never played one, is because I never knew where to
It's
start.
the same here. Like I played Type 0 for work, and I was like, I don't know where to start. So many
I
numbers.
always tell people the easiest one to start with is Final Fantasy X.
Love 10.
It's linear. The story is really good. The battle system's fun and easy to use. I would go with 10 and work your way from there. That's a
Right.
good starting point for people who are like, where do I start? There are 15
I think so,
main
too.
ones and a bunch of
and then
spin-offs.
a bunch of spin-offs. So, but I do like that they're kind of like, for me, the fact that they're doing this like prequel, kind of easing you into the game, kind of like, okay, cool. As someone who loves JRPGs, loves
Yeah.
RPGs in general, who's never played a Final Fantasy because I'm young or something, and I feel like that's a major. Well, that's not why I said
played
that.
Final Fantasy 1 when it actually came out, people.
You're beautiful and amazing.
Thank you.
And your knowledge is valuable. Anyway, I feel like it's a huge knowledge gap that I have in an area that I am generally very knowledgeable in. So I like that they're kind of setting it up so I can go in feeling a little less intimidated.
And that's
by it.
exactly what they want to
like,
do.
they're just
Yeah.
trying to give you like a little helping hand. It's like, hey, here's like the introduction to these characters. Like you're not left out just because you haven't played another Final Fantasy.
Right.
Totally.
So I really, really liked that about this. And again, I was struck by how pretty it was.
Yeah. So guys, be sure to check out Megan's review on IGN.com and watch the episode in the review. So that's really cool.
Whoa.
And let us know what you guys think about it. So we have many more. Let's just move on to another short that I'm super excited about. This is from Studio Trigger.
Studio Trigger is
my favorite.
I really liked this.
So easily my favorite thing already.
Yeah, me too.
Which is, it's beautiful.
so weird
And
and
cute.
What is it?
Space Patrol Luluco, which you should absolutely watch. It's on Crunchyroll.
7 minutes.
Yes.
I loved it so much. I watched it before we came in here, and it feels like watching a little short about Mako from Kill la Kill.
Yeah, so it definitely has that that tone. Like this is
Trigger tone.
core Trigger.
Yeah.
It's like, hey guys, we have another show going on, but the short is really what we're all about.
Yeah.
And I think you can feel it too. Like you said, it's a lot. It has that Mako feel. So if you liked the Mako scenes in Kill la Kill, which are very like higher energy, like
She's sort of
silly
like
reactions
She's
and-
a hyper one, right?
yeah,
she's the like what's it called, in a play where, like in a Shakespeare play, the chorus, she's like the chorus in Kill la Kill, so she's like giving narration sometimes, but in a high energy way, and she's always like posing, and I feel like I do that in real life. And but Luluco reminded me of her a lot, and I just love the opening scene where it's like, Ohio, Tosan, Ohio, Luluco, and they like give this high five, and it's like best anime dad already. And it was so cute and weird, and so weird.
yeah. So Space Patrol Luluco is about this as they try to push it on you. She's a very normal girl, but she lives in a city where aliens coexist with humans, and it's like the only city. Everyone else is normal like this, but this is a place where they try to make it work. And her dad is on the police force that kind of helps make sure everything's okay, of course, because they're police.
Yeah.
And
The Space Patrol, the titular
Yeah.
Space Patrol.
yeah, and so something happens to her dad, and then she ends up having to fill in for him. And so she's freaking out because she doesn't want anything to do with this. She's like, I am trying to be normal. Like,
She's
I
like,
don't want this life. So she just wants to be regular. And, like,
Yeah.
usually that comes off as very annoying in shows because they're like, there's this normal student who does normal things and then gets something weird happen to them. But it works because her situation is so abnormal. And,
Yeah.
like, they make it a point not everything else around her is okay.
Yeah, like she's trying to be normal almost as a like rebellion against all the abnormal around her. Like she when she and her dad are talking in the beginning of the episode, he remarks on how she like grew up so normal, and she's like,
so
yeah,
weird.
because when mom left and took all the furniture, now we live in this dinky apartment, so normal. So I liked how they balanced her like, I'm perfectly normal thing, which is usually very annoying,
Yeah.
with the, she's trying so hard to be normal because nothing is normal.
Yeah, they really commit to it.
yeah.
And that's like a thing with this
In
show.
7
is
minutes,
everything
too.
commits. Yeah,
It's so rapid
perfect
fire
for
and
7 minutes.
funny. I was laughing out loud at it.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
There's some great transformation scenes, a lot of cool aliens.
Okay,
some
Skeleton
Inferno
Fire,
Cop
yeah, Inferno Cop,
references,
whatever,
yeah.
yeah,
Inferno Cop.
yeah, so cool.
Yeah, so it's absolutely short. You should check out. It's a lot of fun. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah,
Sweet.
But yeah, so far my favorite thing. So
me too.
I just want more. Another thing that I think I just watched this week is on Funimation. Kuma Miko.
this one's been on my list
I
for a
saw
while. And
that.
I didn't have time to watch it yet, but it's that bear one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's the bear
I
one.
saw the bear, I'm like, oh my god.
kind of be. I don't know what this meant, but I read somewhere it's like you have to kind of be brave and go into it with a certain mindset. I don't know what that
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's really weird. So I love bears. I love bears so much. Like they're like one of my favorite animals ever. And I always get super excited when there's like talking bears. It's really dumb. Anyway, so there's a talking bear in the show. It's about this Miko. She is 14, I believe, and she's been living with this bear like all her life. And they grew up together, and now she wants to go to the city. Like they live in the mountains out in the middle of nowhere. She's like, we don't even have cell phone reception here. I need to leave. And so he's really troubled about her leaving. And that's like weird thing about this show is because it's kind of like two parts to it. It's about her wanting to go, and the other part is about their relationship and their relationship to this community. So they're like the Hicks, like they call them, like it's translated that way. It's like we're like Hicks kind of things.
Yeah, that's how we translate
weird.
like Osaka dialect too. Is like
Yeah, like they're just-
the Hicks, the Southern Hicks.
Yeah, but they're the mountain.
Yeah, they're the
ones.
mountain Hicks.
And so in this community, there's like legend about how they used to worship bears, like they were like a god, and so every year they would sacrifice a maiden. And this is kind of, I think, where the part people say to go with an open mind is because it gets sexual, and that's weird.
I was afraid it was
Yeah,
going to take
but
that
it's-
weird
but
turn.
it's they say, okay, so they sacrifice a maiden, and one time this maiden, instead of eating the maiden, they hook up. And so then they have little bear cubs that can talk. And so, because like he's a god or whatever, it's like real weird.
It's like Greek mythology, but Japanese mythology.
So it's like
Okay.
I looked it up to see if it was actual mythology. Like that's the kind of weird, like mythology always has really weird stuff.
That's usually how
Yeah, so
mythological stories go. It's
Yeah,
like,
but it's-
and this maiden gave birth to like weird creatures.
Yeah. So the thing with that though is that it doesn't leave out any details. It's like, whoa, TMI.
Oh.
Okay. And like they're telling the story to children. And so it's like, okay. And so I think that's where a lot of people were like, But I thought it was just really funny because the reactions. It was really good. I sent you some
This is
screenshots.
not what I
Oh
expected.
yeah, Miranda said
really good.
the screenshots. I was like, I gotta watch this show. So definitely.
Like I don't want to give away too much with the episode because
Right.
we're trying to get into it. But and so it's about the respect and like how this town works with these bears and like this girl's like desire to get out and like how she's inherently not ready. And this bear just wanted to keep her around. So it was really funny. Yeah, there are some parts that are a little uncomfortable. It's like, I mean, maybe that wasn't necessarily appropriate, but it's still really funny. So I don't know. I like it. I'm going to keep watching it.
I'm interested to see what I think of this now. From the description, because like from your description, I'm kind of like, oh, this sounds like something I wouldn't find funny. But I saw the screenshots, and I thought the screenshots were really funny. So we will see.
Yeah, I mean, like there's some parts that I was like, I don't know about this, but I'm gonna keep watching it anyway. So, we'll see. We'll see how it shapes up. Like that's a big part of it too. Is like
Interesting.
the first episode can only tell you so much.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see what happens, and I like bears. So they're cute and fluffy. They just
Bears
want-
are rad.
One time I
They're
saw
pretty cute.
some really cute bears in a zoo, and they were sleeping. I was like, what if I just go in between them and sleep with them? What if I did that? But they're like grizzlies.
Death
I was
would.
gonna
But
say,
that'd be totally
I have-
fine.
I have
If that's the
siblings
way
who
I
went
went,
camping and they got real
okay.
close to
You
bears by
would
accident. It wasn't
die
fun.
getting
Oh.
mauled by grizzlies,
If I
and
got
that
to
would
sleep
be
between them for like 5 minutes, it's fine.
That's a bad way to go, man.
yeah.
But it'd be so comfortable.
No, my sister and her husband went camping.
Oh, God.
And they got
They hugged a bear?
accidentally real close to a mom and bear and their cubs, and that wasn't funny. That was terrifying.
Yeah, anytime I see like things in video games with bears in Rise of the Tomb Raider, it made me so sad when you have to kill a bear. Like that's a big plot point in the beginning is you have to like slay a bear to get through its den. I'm like, no, just
Can I just ride the
what
bear?
if I just die instead? It's fine.
So
bear
Max
Anyway.
drifting?
Max
That'd be
Scoville's
something.
dog looks like a little bear,
So cute.
and he won't kill
Peppers.
you. So
Peppers.
Peppers is-
Shout out to
Peppers.
Peppers.
Peppers is the
you
off-
can see sometimes
Hey,
on Up at
Peppers.
Noon.
Yeah.
If you're watching at home right now.
any IGN employee will tweet pictures of Peppers.
Yeah.
So if you follow any of us, anyway,
He's a
moving
little
on.
Kuma.
Bears, dogs.
Anyway, yeah. Let us know what you guys think of Kumamiko if you've watched it. And yep. Yeah, cool bears.
Cool bears.
So next up on the list, My Hero Academia. One I
Yes.
actually haven't watched yet, but we have a review on IGN, which you should check out. One of our friends did it. And you all have watched.
Yep.
Mhm.
I really liked it.
I love it so much.
I liked it. I really love the animation quality and style. It's a little paint by the numbers, and it's very reminiscent of One Punch Man in some
Yes.
ways, but
It Yeah, for sure. I was watching it and I got the One Punch Man theme song stuck in my head. And I was like,
Which is the best.
What if we just go watch One Punch Man again?
that's what I walked away from I watched a lot at my desk this morning, but I walked away from my desk and I was like, what if I just watched One Punch Man? But that's not to say I didn't enjoy this. I really enjoyed My Hero Academia. I'm interested to see if it gets less paint by numbers, right? So like the plot is basically like there's a kid, he wants to be a hero, but he might not
He
be able
doesn't
to
have
be.
a quirk.
He doesn't have a power, so what do?
Which is an interesting name to call powers.
Yeah,
Quirks.
quirks.
Yeah.
They're pretty quirky. Their powers are pretty quirky.
Yeah.
Guy turns into a tree. Girl turns into a giantess. Other person is.
That was like Booty City though. I
Yeah,
was like,
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
first-
Oh yeah.
no,
Big girl.
The first like
giant.
5 minutes was like booty. And I'm watching it at my desk, and like I sit by the managers and stuff, and I was like, no.
Don't look.
Yeah, my
anime.
screen just faces everybody. And one time I was watching the Yurikuma Arashi season finale because I didn't want to wait till I got home, and I just watched it. I was like, let me just make this a
Yeah,
little.
you make the screen as small as possible, and you're
Just
like,
like this in
do.
front of
no
your
one, no one judge me, and you make a little tent or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes you just be like, sorry guys, I'm watching anime for work, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Literally, it was for work, so
Yeah,
no one
yeah.
can say anything to me. I'd be like, "Sorry, I'm doing work," because I mean, you're watching it, you're thinking critically about it and all that. But so she came in, and I was like, "Okay, that's immediate, but all right." And then it
But, yeah.
it
It
fine.
wasn't too bad. It's just
It was-
one of those things where they really made a point in the first 5 minutes. Like,
Well,
here's
it
her
was
power.
It was one of those things that was like attention grabbing. Now we're back to the story, and I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I like the sort of, I like the concept they're setting up with this episode of, do you need a special power to be a hero? The question of what is a hero. Again, I don't think it's very, that's been done before,
Totally.
but I think there's a lot of promise in this episode. I really enjoyed it. I loved the animation. I loved just like the humor. I was laughing at this episode also.
Yeah.
I like
at
the what's the character's name? The All Might.
The
All
All
Might,
Might.
yes.
I love that character.
I
It's-
love him.
He's so great.
He's just like, hello.
I
He
know.
reminds me of like Mr. Incredible, but like
Yeah.
not. Like just like how he's just like, I'm
Kind of like
perfect.
the Tick a little bit.
Yeah.
a little bit like the Tick too.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
I did,
yeah.
but I couldn't help but imagining like Saitama walking by and be like, "Look, I've become the best. I'm actually the only one who's made it. Let me tell you something, kid. There's nothing else after this."
Crossover, make
Crossover.
it happen.
wonder
If
if that's
someone
happened.
did fan art with a crossover, I would literally.
Oh, there's
die.
probably tons of that.
I'm sure it's already out there.
I met someone watching.
Oh,
that's
send it
true.
to me.
Wow.
We have very talented artists.
Yes, someone did a manga of us.
Yes.
It was
saw.
really cool. It was,
It was really
Frank A.
great.
Frank,
Yes.
Frank A. Did a really cute manga of us. You should check out on the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/IGN Anime Club, the official group.
Boom.
But
Yes.
yeah, so I couldn't get the One Punch Man thing out of my head though. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, I watched this, didn't I? but
But no,
yeah.
it was super
Really,
cute.
really fun.
I really
Yes.
like the art style.
Yeah. I thought it was cool that it's also set in like a high school setting too. Like usually it's like, like Tiger and Bunny, it's like all these adults and like,
Yeah.
all superheroes. But it's a little kid and in his story. And like, he was bullied as a kid and
Yeah.
That's
and-
true. Like we rarely see superheroes as little kids, like actual
Yeah.
superheroes,
Or an
not
actual
people
school
with
for
powers,
heroes,
but
yeah.
like
Yeah,
superheroes.
like their job. Like there's this scene in the classroom where they're like, "All right, we're gonna," because they're in I think third year of middle school. So in a lot of like middle school, high school anime, it's like, "All right, fill out your future plan sheets."
Yep.
And then the teacher's like, "Just kidding, y'all are going to hero school." And I thought
Except
that
for one of you.
except the loser one. I liked that so much because it was kind of like, we're very serious. Just kidding. We're all superheroes. And I thought that was
Love
fun.
that, yeah. And also Izuku when he's little and he was like banging his head on the
When he's
desk.
just like doing this.
Oh, yeah.
I saw
So many gifts.
I saw a gif of that where it was like me watching My Hero Academia, just
Yeah.
like banging your head. Yeah.
I love this.
Really
yeah, it's
cute.
this funny, cute, everything, action shown. Ugh.
It
Can't
was-
wait! I can't
it-
wait, and it's
yeah.
also a good anime to watch until One Punch Man comes back, which is
Exactly.
either
It's your tie
later
over
this-
until then.
yeah,
Whenever
either-
they,
yeah, I
yeah,
know.
do
Hopefully
that.
this year, but maybe next year.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys thought about My Hero Academia. I know a lot of people are like, well, this could be the next big shonen thing. So very excited to see what happens with it. Next, we have another game to anime thing. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
Yes,
Mike, you and I watched this one.
Yes, we
What'd you
did.
think?
I thought it was really quick. I think this
Yes.
was pretty much the first episode is pretty much the tutorial for the game. And it was funny because I was watching with my girlfriend and she studied criminology, and she's like, "This is all wrong." I'm like, they didn't cross-examine the witness. I'm like, So yeah. But aside from that, I enjoyed it.
Did you play the game?
I played some of the game. I didn't beat the game, but yeah.
Okay, so I actually haven't played the game, and I was really hoping you played it, so I'm glad you
Okay,
did.
yeah.
So yeah, this did seem like it was the tutorial level.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it feels like, oh, well, I could play the game or I could watch this, which is the same thing.
So, question.
Yes.
Tutorial levels are usually, fine,
Yeah.
not great. Was the episode fine and not great then as a result of being the tutorial level, or?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much the whole case was, it's the crime happened and then it was solved in the whole episode. So it was kind of like a little rushed, I guess.
It was simple. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you could definitely see that they had all their evidence in the room. It's like, hey, here's
Yeah.
your puzzle. Everything's right here. He just
Yeah.
has to figure it out.
Yeah. And it's more on the funny side, there's definitely a lot of comedy.
It's very dramatic.
Yeah.
I mean, just like the game it's supposed to be, and it definitely reflects
Objection,
that. Yeah.
But yeah, aside from that, like, I enjoyed it for what it was. It's going to be interesting to see what they do, because there's another arc in the game that I'm curious how they're going to portray that in the anime. We'll see how that goes. And it's a big arc, too, so.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what they're heading. Do you think that's what they're heading into? Because
I assume so.
I can't.
That's like pretty much the next
There's
case.
like big foreshadowing, and I was like, not really foreshadowing. It's very much just like a, hey, this is what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, and I was like, oh, spoilers.
Yeah.
Way to reveal that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always hate it when shows do that. Like, hey, this is gonna be the next big thing, but we're gonna tell you so it's not dramatic. I mean, but it's gonna be dramatic, but it's not anymore because we lost the impact.
Exactly.
Anyway. But as someone who hasn't played Phoenix Wright, I did really enjoy it. Like, I thought it was just a fun, really stylized thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of those things where, like, so with like the Danganronpa anime, like if you don't have access to the game, if you don't have a Vita, you can watch the anime and you get a very similar experience. This sounds like a similar thing. Like if you
Yeah.
don't have Phoenix Wright, if you don't have access to it for whatever reason, you can watch the anime and maybe get a
and
similar
there's like
experience.
one-to-one scenes like with what like the action they do in the game
Yeah.
to the show.
Yeah. Like there's
So,
in the game, like for instance, when you're cross-examining a witness or something, they start getting nervous and their hair starts moving around, and then they do the same thing in the anime. It's hilarious.
it's so funny how
So, yeah.
dramatic it is. Like, when
Yeah.
they make it like a really big
Yeah.
accusation or something, like wind just blows
Yeah, it's
across
like-
the courtroom, and they're like, "Ooh,"
Like-
it's like, man, this is a high energy courtroom. Huh, I
Yeah.
wonder if someone's guilty here.
It's amazing. But yeah, they do it pretty well. So yeah, definitely check that out.
Yeah, I'll absolutely be watching it. I think it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I still haven't played Phoenix Wright. One of those things that I wanted to, and so now it's my chance to experience it. So, yay.
So watch it.
And let us know what you guys are thinking about it, especially if you played the game, if it lives up to it, or if it just is too much retreading the
Also,
same
what's
ground.
interesting about it is that Crunchyroll has they allow you to change the subtitle track so it includes the American names rather than the Japanese names.
Oh, whoa! I didn't
so
even
if you're
notice
used
that.
to the localized names,
Yeah, if you're used to
that
the
would
game
be-
names,
That's
you can,
so
they
cool.
do something. It's like a beta or something that they're testing
wow.
on Crunchyroll. So I thought that was super
That's
cool.
awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So another cool one. Anyway.
little tips for while you're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I watched on Crunchyroll, which I think I was the only one who got around to it, is yet another fantasy show where the otaku/neet gets pulled into a fantasy world and has to figure it out.
Yeah.
Boy, yet another one.
Anime.
Anime. But on the plus side, this one was really cool. I liked it. It was 2 episodes because they put out 2 parts for the first episode, which is really cool. So it's the Showa route of being extra long, which is nice.
I guess I'll never watch that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, like I think a lot of us are getting very fatigued by this trope just because it's sure you'll see these iterations of the same thing over and over in different kinds of genres and stuff. That of course is going to happen. But the thing with this one is this almost the same guy. It's like this is an otaku guy. Like this is the same thing. It's never like a different sort of character. It's always just like that otaku guy who just sits at home. Doesn't do anything.
I want to see like a soccer mom get transported into
Yeah.
an RPG, and figure
like
it
a
out.
little kid
like,
or I don't know.
like somebody who doesn't, or like someone who doesn't know anything about fantasy anything. Like I want to see that. Why does it always have to
The
be
strength
an
of
otaku?
Grimgar is that these kids don't know what they're doing.
Right.
And at least there's one anime that does that. Everyone else is like, oh, this is
and,
perfectly fine.
Each has like their gimmick, right? Like Grimgar is like it's a group of people as opposed to just one person.
To be-
Overlord was a guy getting stuck in his game, and
Yeah.
he was like
He was
the
really
highest level
into that
max
game,
level, you know?
yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
those that stand out.
To be fair, I do understand the fantasy. Like I remember like being in middle school and being like, oh my gosh, my ultimate dream is there's a Guitar Hero competition at school and I win because I was really good at Guitar Hero.
I just wanted Halo to actually happen in my school. Like,
Right.
grunts just pop out of anywhere. And then like a Marine just comes
They
and throws
need-
me a gun. They're like, Miranda,
Yeah.
we need you. I'm like, oh, I got this.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I wanted there to be like,
Yeah.
look, it's a Guitar Hero competition for the world at school, and all the boys who don't think you know anything about video games, they'll see. So, well, I mean, now they see. But yeah, so I get the fantasy of like I know everything about this niche topic
Or what should be happening.
and
Yeah.
it became my life. Like I get that, but we've seen it so many times. So
So-
but you liked it, like just
Yeah, so I enjoyed it. I went in not really knowing much. I kind of knew its gimmick, which was that mild spoilers if you don't want to know for a minute or so, that this guy, when he dies, he respawns, but he doesn't know that that's happening to him.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's like the
Interesting.
premise is that like if he dies, he gets to restart from a certain point. But it's not really clear why that happens. Like the show starts with him just reading manga at like a convenience store and getting food, and then he just leaves, and then he's just in a fantasy world. He's like, what? Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he just has a bag of like chips and ramen with him, and that's all he has and his cell phone. And he's like, oh, all right.
It's like,
and the
I'm
thing,
so screwed.
yeah. And the thing I liked about this too is that it does punish him. Where a lot of the other shows we see like him getting, like the guys getting away with mistakes or like them having extra help, but this guy's like seriously like, on his own, and he keeps getting in trouble because of it, and it's really funny.
all right. I gotta check this out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
same here.
I really enjoyed it. It is a little bit more serious. I mean, people were like, "This is like a race." I'm like, "No, it's not. Calm down. It's not that dramatic. It's not that dark. Like it is dark because he keeps dying and stuff and keeps messing up, and like there's like, these really terrible things that are happening, but it's still like a fun fantasy thing.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see where it goes. I'm gonna follow it. I like the characters a lot.
Yeah.
They're really interesting.
I'm excited.
So,
I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch
Yeah,
this.
same here.
so yeah, let me know what you guys are. If you guys are watching it, what you think.
Yep.
And
You also watched Bakuon.
yeah, so this one was interesting. So I really like moe girl shows, especially K-On! And I'm just like, what if there was another K-On!? So like those just cute club shows, and this is that, except they have motorcycles.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is a motorcycle.
I remember seeing
This is
this.
the motorcycle
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this is a motorcycle club.
Is this a girl gang show?
Kind of. So it's really weird.
Callie's mind blown.
I'm kind of sad because I wasn't more into it. It's interesting. So it's about these girls, and they like these first year students would like join a motorcycle club at their school, and they're very into motorcycles, and it is very granular about motorcycles. So if you don't know a lot about motorcycles, it's fine because it tells you everything. But sometimes, like for me, who I'm not super into that, like car stuff and
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know
motorcycles,
anything
like,
about that.
I get a little too much into it sometimes. I'm like, okay, I'm losing interest.
Yeah.
And I'm
Interesting.
pretty sure this was like sponsored by Honda somehow because everything, it's like
like a
oh, you're a
Kawasaki.
Suzuki, and oh, everything breaks down except for a Honda, and like there's very clear. Honda's a really good company, guys, and it's just really funny how like they're very
Pushing
on
that.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I think I'll stick around for like another episode or two because the characters are cute, and there's one girl who reminds me of Mugi from K-On! And I'm just like, oh, your eyebrows, are they bananas? Anyway.
Eyebrows are important. The windows to the face.
They are. They actually frame your face.
Yeah,
So
she's-
I appreciate good eyebrows.
they are very
I'm
dramatic
sold.
eyebrows. And
I am sold.
I mean, Satsuki also has really great
Oh,
eyebrows.
Satsuki is excellent.
Yes,
Queen.
I'm all about eyelashes.
She also has some cute eyelashes are fine.
Okay.
All right.
Um,
so
I just want to make sure.
Yeah,
I'll watch
so-
this at my desk. This is one of my desk animes.
It's just
It
such a
does
really
get me.
bizarre show. Like, there's these girls that are just like freaking out about motorcycles, and then at one point, one of the girls, like the protagonist, is trying to get her license to ride a motorcycle, and so she's kind of behind everybody else who already has their license, and she goes to school, and then the motorcycle starts talking to her. And like that doesn't happen anywhere else. Just this one starts talking to her. Okay. And that's really funny because Mariko's like talking about all these guys mounting her. It's like, do you know how it feels to have crotch on your face all day?
Oh.
And it was just like, what is
No, I don't.
happening?
Whoa.
So
So she talks to
show.
motorcycles now.
yeah,
Ah.
I
I have so many things I want to say. I'm not going to say any of them.
Yeah. Anyway,
This is a PG show, Kelly.
That's right.
I'm just going to make a face at the camera. If you're not watching the video, you're missing out on my sassy face.
That's Bakuon.
Do they race at all? Is there...
It's not really about racing. It's more about
it's
them
about
just.
the
I don't
hanging
know
out
exactly
and
where they're going,
liking
but
it.
it's about these girls hanging out on motorcycles.
Gotcha.
I mean, I'm sure there will be a race eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yowamushi pedal?
Yeah. No, but this is just cute and
Okay.
it's really funny. So
Interesting.
yeah, I give that a try. I'm gonna watch
The
more of that.
biker tuner girl.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
So Megan, you watched this
Endride.
episode. Yeah.
I don't.
Endride.
It's.
It's about motorcycles too.
It should be because I don't know what the hell it's about. It's. I feel like it came in the middle of a season because it's so frantically paced, and it's so oddly paced. So it's like the anime sits you down. And it's like, sit down, shut up, listen. This is what it's about. Hey, there's this kid. He loves crystals. And one day he goes to his father's science lab and he picks up a crystal. Then he gets sucked into the crystal. And then he runs around in the crystal with another dude. And while they're running inside the crystal, they're fighting magical beasts with weapons they pull from their stomach because reasons. Yay, anime. There's your synopsis of this anime. Second part coming up. Goodbye. And I'm like, wait, what? What just happened? Normal kid loves crystals. He gets sucked into a crystal and runs around the crystal. What part of this didn't you understand? Like, the anime is weirdly frantic this way. And the main character completely finds this, like, he kind of thinks it's weird, but he automatically knows how to fight. It's one of those things where it's like, it's really frantically paced, and I couldn't figure out, because it's not super small and cartoonish, but it must be aimed at a younger audience because the pace is just boom, boom, boom,
Interesting.
boom, boom.
Not about that life.
And it's just, yeah, and this guy is trying to kill his stepdad because he took over the kingdom and something, and just roll with it, people. Just roll with it. And I'm like, all right, all right.
As soon as you said Crystal, I was like, Aaron Paul anime?
Yeah, I know. I was like, we're back around. We're back to
Kingsglaive.
here.
Just full circle. Aaron Paul needs to be a voice in
I
this now.
do love your synopsis. You should keep watching it so you can give more synopses.
All right, I want to like it. Like, there's something likable about it, but it's buried under all this frantic, very just roll with it. Just roll with it. We got to move it along, people. And I'm like, all right.
Wow.
Because they do this weird montage of the kid's normal life, so you can just get right on it. It's like, look, he just gets sucked into this crystal, all right? Just accept this.
Well, so like Space Patrol Luluco kind of does that, where it's like, this is happening, might as well be happening.
it does not
but
care
it doesn't. It doesn't feel like that. Like the way you're describing, like Luluco is more like, ha, that's good.
It's not
Good
like super
stuff.
fast like cutaways or anything,
Yeah.
but it's just for a 20-minute anime, it's just a lot
Doing
happens.
too much.
Yeah,
It's like
Gotcha.
too much happening rather than
but
the
it kind
actual.
of weirdly works for
Yeah.
it too. Like if they continue that pace, it might actually work for the anime. It just surprised me because I was like, all right, crystals everywhere. I'm expecting a Sailor Moon cameo at some point.
That's like crystal gems.
Yeah, it's like that's
Universe,
a lot of stuff. I don't know. Yeah,
There's magical crystals and people pulling weapons from their stomach. That's normal.
Oh, yeah.
Just
hammer
Universe.
space.
And,
That's just hammer space.
It is. The kid takes it really well. He's like, what's going on? But also, I can fight. All right, now come with me. We've got to get out of here. Actually, the whole thing is just, all right.
I want to see a show where someone like has to fight and they just fail miserably. Like they think they're like it would be about me. Like if there was a zombie apocalypse, ideally in my brain, I'm really, really good at fighting zombies, and I'm like really good with a shotgun and stuff. But in reality, I'd probably die like instantly.
You
right?
like drop the shotgun, but like, nope.
I'd be like, never mind. I
Yeah,
don't
everyone likes to think they survive, but
yeah,
you know.
but you
Be
know,
real.
like I'd probably die. I'd for a while I'd be looking around. I'd be like, I need a car I need like my car charger for my phone, and I'll just play threes for a while until
I
like
have this terrible feeling I'd be Yuki from School Live.
just be like,
I'd be that, but I'd
"Everything's
just
fine."
I'd break.
But yeah, so I would rather see like this kid gets sucked into this weird crystal and tries to fight, and then like, nope, sorry kid, you're just really into crystals. You have no muscle tone. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
that's kind of like what happened with ReZero.
yeah.
And, like, it was really good. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna get a magical power, and then he's like, oh no,
No, never mind.
I don't have that.
Yeah. So interesting. I want to commend you on your fantastic synopsis.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Also, I do love the classical music. Great music.
Oh, hey.
Oh, interesting.
I'm
I'll
all
probably
about the
watch
anime
this.
OSTs.
I was not expecting classical music.
It's classical, but it has like a lot of strings and percussions, and it's not like Mozart, but it has that very
but
dramatic.
it has a
Okay.
I
Like a full
was
orchestra.
expecting like dubstep from your description. Yeah.
Yeah, but I liked it. I was just a little overwhelmed.
Cool.
All right.
I'm gonna watch that sometime.
And ride.
We'll see how it
There you
goes.
go.
And right.
Yeah.
Not motorcycles. Mike,
Yes.
this next one's on you.
Oh yeah.
And the next one after that, but this one first.
Okay. Yeah, I tried to watch Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn RE0096. So this is interesting. Unlike Iron-Blooded Orphans, this is not a standalone. This is part of a larger universe, which is called the Universal Century, which begins with Gundam Wing. And so I was looking up because I haven't watched any of those. But apparently, if you watch Gundam, the compilation movies, Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta Gundam, and Chara's counterattack movie, you will know what this is about.
I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
I know. So I tried to watch it. I mean, I was completely lost. But I did see Zaku Mobile Suit, which is, I love those. So I'm like, oh, hey, I'm in the right place. But yeah, it's the typical, like, you know, we're in this space colony and the war happened and I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Space.
Yeah, but I mean, I kind of want to watch all those. I'll try to watch all those just to figure out what's going on. I know.
ambitious.
I feel like
but-
you have to have like submit a
Gambare.
resume before you're allowed to watch. Just like, hey, yes, I have these qualifications.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is an advanced placement class, and
It's-
you had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Gundam AP.
Yeah.
No, definitely. You need to. Yeah, you'll get lost really quickly if you don't know.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Um,
I was hoping this one was not that, but that's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, like, I'm sure people are happy that's coming.
I mean,
but-
I'll see how the rest of the season goes
Yeah.
to get a better idea of if they're gonna kind of ease you into it. But like, just it starts off with this like kind of like flashback, which I'm not sure what's going on. Anyway, what's interesting though is that this is a series of the broadcast version of OVAs that went from 2010 to 2014.
oh wow.
So it was a 7-episode OVA, and this series is based off those OVAs.
Okay.
So yeah, it's interesting in that, and they're doing a simulcast dub. So please try to watch the dub. I think trying to read it is going to be way too confusing. But
Gotta
yeah.
give love to those dub actors.
Oh yeah.
They work hard with
Yeah,
material
some of
that's
the
really
voices
hard to
sound
understand.
Very familiar too, so I need to look those up. But yeah, good luck. That's all I gotta say. That's all I'm gonna say. But the other one I watched, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable.
People have been looking forward to this.
Yes. So I know you've been watching JoJo, right?
I'm still on the first season, so I'm way behind.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm-
also started the first season a while back and haven't.
Yeah, I'm.
Caught
But I am
No.
enjoying it.
Yes.
I can understand its popularity, and it lives up to its reputation. It is bizarre.
It's super bizarre. So unlike you guys, I watch episodes every now and then. I haven't actually started from the beginning, but I know what it is. I know I've seen the game, so I know what to expect. But this one, it's more JoJo. You know, it's more crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah, right. Like
What
who would have
generation
thought?
of JoJo are we on
I
now?
know. Yeah.
I think
So
it is the fourth.
Yeah, I think this is the fourth generation of
8 or
JoJo.
something.
yeah, and what's if no one knows at home, like JoJo, pretty much it's a family of like JoJos.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like each generation. of
Yeah,
JoJo.
exactly. So this is kind of like, so I think Star Crusaders or something, whatever the last season was, with the Jotaro Kujo. He's like one of the popular ones. Apparently, the protagonist, Josuke Higashikata. So the Joes, right? You start to see a trend here.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're all JoJo.
So they're related, and you know, he finds out that eventually, and he's in high school, which is interesting. Like a lot of the other JoJos were like adults or dads or something like that.
Yeah.
So this one's in high school, and yeah, it's just more JoJo. I mean, I love it. It's funny. There's action. It's
Any cool band names that are new to this season?
band names?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, you know how there's always like Speedwagon and stuff like that.
Oh,
No.
that's a real band. REO Speedwagon.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah. A lot of
that's the joke.
They use like the creator's like a huge like rock band fan, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
I think it's like been a problem too with localization because they're using
because of
the
the
pictures of other people.
Yeah.
infringement.
exist.
Oh.
I don't know, but
yeah, I haven't-
how that works.
Yeah, gotcha. I haven't
Legal stuff.
noticed anything recently. But I love it.
All
I
right,
have no idea.
if you know, audience, I'm pointing at the camera, and those listening at home, I'm pointing at my microphone now. Let us know, because I would love to. I get a kick out of it. JoJo's Bizarre
Oh,
Adventure
yeah.
always has like
Every reference.
rock
yeah.
stars.
I mean, I
and
love the
all
music.
this-
The opening's
yeah.
great. I love that. But yeah,
so good.
I'm gonna keep watching it. I want to start from the beginning now because my best friend, like, he loved that series and told me about it. So, yeah, I need to. I'm gonna binge that next.
Yeah, next time. Yeah.
But anyway,
Always
yeah,
keeps me
definitely
up.
check that out. It's one to look forward to.
Cool. Well, that pretty much wraps up what we've watched so far. Of course, there's a ton more out, and we're going to be covering that next episode as well. We usually probably do this in 2 parts.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot. There's so much. I know I watched the Twin Star one.
Yeah.
Twin Star Exorcist, I think.
Yep.
I don't know. So much.
Ooh, Ushu and Tora.
Is it summer yet? Is it summer? I
it
just want
summer
to
yet?
watch Food Wars.
I know, right?
Anyway.
All right.
We'll time travel. It'll be
Time
fine.
travel.
So, now that's concluded, we're going to head on into our watch party. If you've never joined us for that before, our watch party is where we watch 2 episodes of an anime that's chosen by you guys, and we talk about it and pull in your comments and have a good old discussion. Right now, we're watching Shirobako. We watched episodes 3 and 4. Yep. We started last episode, so it's super exciting because we wanted to watch Shirobako forever. And if you haven't joined us before, please join us. You can comment on Twitter or Facebook or send us an email. That's IGN_Anime Club at IGN.com. We love to hear from you guys.
Yes.
Yep.
So, episode 3, everything explodes.
Yeah.
I got stressed watching this episode.
It's so stressful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And it's true to life. My brother is a producer / production manager on a lot of films and commercials and stuff, and it really does because it becomes this frantic domino effect. Like one thing goes wrong, and it goes boosh, and you're just running around trying to keep it together.
you're waiting for redraws. The key animator is lazy, and then just
The server goes down.
the server goes down, and then Taro happens.
He's alive.
Actual thing.
Taro exists, and
And that's how the episode starts too, right? It's like she's just listing what she needs to do.
yeah, it's just
and then the manager comes along and is like, "Hey, did you do this? You do that? You do this?"
Yeah,
and it's like,
what? Oh God, yeah.
That feels like my everyday life sometimes.
Yeah, I really relate to that where it's like you think you got everything handled and then someone's like, here's a project and you're like, oh God. Like,
And did you get this thing and this thing and this thing done? What? I sent you an email like 30 seconds ago. Didn't you get that? What?
Yeah.
No?
Or like just having to juggle a lot of things at once. And I think it's interesting. She's doing episodes 4 and
4 and
9. I mean, I should have known that's how it works, but I didn't realize like she's not managing. Obviously, she's not managing 2 consecutive episodes because that would be like frantic and awful.
That'd be terrible.
But
Jeez.
also, I can't imagine having all of my stuff together enough to handle episode 9 when I don't know what's going on in 8, 7, 6, or 5. Like, and that's what sort of goes on in this show is like you're waiting on somebody else all the time.
Yep.
She's always waiting on somebody else, and she has to basically go kick everybody in the butt. Like, I need the keyframes. I need this. So stressful.
That's really stressful.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about it? Because I know you're the new ones to the show.
yeah, that's right.
So, really excited to like hear your opinions. I'm just like, yes, more
No, I
watching.
am really enjoying it. They're getting across what it's really like to make an actual show. And again, because I hear these stories all the time from my brother, it's like, oh my gosh, like how do you juggle all of this and how do you do that? And she's stressing, everyone's stressing. They're getting a little delusional here. They're, kind of yelling at each other and leaning on each other. It's really interesting to see the behind the scenes of what it takes to create, like you have to reshoot things, you have to take it to camera, and then you have to do all the key art, and you have to do all the in-betweens. And just, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually had to rewind part of it to be like, wait, who's doing what needs to be
I
done?
know.
Yeah. I was just like, I could not do that job. Yeah. Nope,
No.
I don't want it.
Seriously, I'm actually really surprised that they get along really well together. With all those people and all the people like always poking each other, like, "Hey, is this done? Is this done? Is this done?" Like they're surprisingly a good team. But also, like, funny thing was when the director was sleeping in his room, and it's like, "Oh, recap episode, no."
Yeah, that was really funny.
I was like, "I don't want. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Recap episode.
I was like, "Oh man." Now I know why they have recap episodes.
Yeah, right?
real.
So one brief comment about this one from Adrian Chen. Favorite character in Shirobako is Rinko. So she's the Gothic Lolita
Lolita-san.
Oh yeah.
who works on
Animation
PR.
director?
Yeah, she's on the animation team.
Okay.
And
I want to cosplay her.
she's so awesome, and I love her so much. So I'm excited because it's like our first kind of big introduction to her. Like she's been in it.
Oh, yeah.
And she does get more episodes later on. So I'm just like, yes.
I want to cosplay her so bad.
Yeah, and the reason they go into the whole reason why she dresses like that and stuff too.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Interesting.
It's not just
Cool.
something that happens because this is an actual studio with professionals. But she's just very elegant and wonderful.
Yeah.
So episode 4 was especially cool because we finally move off of Miyamori for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And go and check in with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shizuka is relatable to the point I was actually tearing up at my computer.
Oh god.
Because I've studied to be a voice actress for a while, and I actually had a panic attack at. I didn't think it was an audition. I think it was a competition, and everything that happened to her happened to me, and it was the worst. So I was actually tearing up at my desk when I was watching this happen, and I was like, oh my god, flashbacks, because it's so terrifying when you're new at this and you walk in, and you're like 120 out of so many people. And they don't have time to be nice. The good news is it's not personal. The bad news is it's not personal.
Yeah.
So her screwing up, it was just living it all over again. I was like, oh my god, girl, I've been there.
It's so weird because everybody else seems to be excelling at what they're doing, even if they're having issues. And she's the only one who's like kind of like, well, she's part of a production company, so that's good. Like
she has representation.
She is getting there, yes. But she's still not really excelling in her position where everybody else at least has a home. You can say. Like they're consistently stable with what they're doing, except for the student. She's still studying.
Yes,
so
she's studying. So that's okay. Stay in school, kids.
Yeah. So I don't know. I definitely got the nervous feelings whenever she went to go read her audition, just like the shaking, because like I used to play clarinet and I was like competitive, and so like you go and play and it's just like, don't look at me, turn around.
Don't miss that.
Yeah, and it's so hard to like go up there and like perform, because it's like part of you and someone's judging that. So
even at like karate competitions, I got that, because you have to perform forms. You practice like it's not like I was much better at sparring, because sparring wasn't nervous, because I wasn't like performing something I'd practiced. I was just like, yeah, I'm good at kicking you. I don't know. But forms was like that, where like and I got that when I was watching this episode, just like you're going up and you've been practicing and practicing, and this is something you care about a lot, and then you just mess up and you can't come back from it. I mean, I've been there at a competition where like I started the form and messed up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can't reset. Like there's nothing I can do.
They've already seen it. It's already
like it's already there's nothing I can do. So
it's rough. Tacky brag is tacky. But so the competition I was at, Nolan North actually came into IGN for Up at Noon with Greg, and I got to babysit Nolan North for 30 minutes. And I just happened to have this script on my desk that I was going to be at the competition, and he walked me through the whole thing, because Nolan North is just really nice like that.
Cool.
But I was so nervous, and I'm not Nolan North, so I went to this audition and I tried to do it the way that he taught me. And what rattled me was the person on the other side of the glass is like, no, that's all wrong. I don't want that. You're not doing this and this, like completely the opposite of what you would intuitively do. You're like, you have to be nervous, you have to be scared. And I can be nervous and I can be scared. And I just like, that whole scenario was a nightmare though. It's like, I'd practice it. I had Nolan North with me. I thought I was going to ace this, and they didn't like it. And it threw me for a loop, and it was a train wreck. So when Shizuka was up there just shaking and crying, I got all teary-eyed. I was like, that literally happened to me, and I'm reliving this. Because performance anxiety, it's a real thing.
No, it's super scary.
They
about
do a
you,
great
Mike?
job of capturing that too.
Oh yeah, actually, I wanted to point out Kevin S., who adds always has cool analysis of all our shows. Puts on Facebook, he says that Shizuka is easily his favorite character because she's so relatable to him. The show captures perfectly the life of an actor, the constant stress of auditioning, going against strong competition, feeling like what you had to offer wasn't good enough or never will be, just a plain feeling possibility of being rejected, and what all of that does to an actor's psyche and mental well-being. So shout outs to Zuko-chan. But yeah, that's scary.
Yeah,
that's you're putting yourself out there in front of all these people.
It's hard,
right? And I think that's one of the things this show does well, and this episode captures that pretty well, pretty perfectly, is portraying their inner emotions about their jobs. So we see that with Miyamori. We feel the stress in episode 3. Like you really feel the stress. I would get stressed watching that episode. And in this episode, you feel the performance anxiety, and you feel the will I ever be good enough? And that's one of the things I like most about this show is the portrayal of that feeling. You really get it from
there's
them.
a pathos that you can like there's sympathy, there's empathy, like you feel things, you feel what the characters are feeling, which is really amazing, because some slice of life is very cute or whatever, but you don't quite relate, and yet somehow Shirobako makes that connection.
There's something there.
It reaches out to you.
Totally. What's another interesting thing is when Miyamori like took a nap on her desk that one time, and then the plushie started talking to her. That's pretty much like her inner thoughts. It's like, why they gotta redo this every time? And the bear's like, but she's not perfect all the time.
Also, If anyone knows where I can buy
Oh my gosh.
like a licensed plush of that bear,
I want
Tell
the
me.
licensed
cutest place.
doll.
Yeah,
Like,
the
I
only
love
thing
that doll.
I've got from Shirobako is an art book, but they're doing an Emma figure soon, and I'm really
Oh.
excited because I'm gonna buy that.
yeah, the only thing I
Why
have,
not Miyamori?
the only thing I have is the pen, the Miyamori pen.
Yeah,
So I
there's
really
some-
want that bear. But
I want the dolly, the girl dolly.
So do we want to go over the salaries?
yeah,
Ooh.
yay!
So this is posted on Crunchyroll, and
Yeah.
Giselle Silva,
Yeah, she shared it on the Facebook group.
yeah,
Yes,
shared it
thank
to
you.
us. So an animator makes roughly $9,400. I think it's per month.
That is.
Or
No,
not?
No, it can't be per
possibly
month.
be per
You
No,
would
not
be
per month.
rich.
I was about to say you'd be so rich. Just kidding. I'm not sure exactly.
per
That's
production?
that's annual salaries. This is annually.
That doesn't make sense though.
That you would die, like you would starve to
You
death.
get $9,000 a year.
I mean,
I don't
I mean,
know.
some
Anyway,
sounds right from what we've heard.
17
Anyway,
sounds like college student, right?
I feel like it must be per production though, because you couldn't. Not in
Yeah.
Tokyo,
Yeah.
you couldn't live off.
you
of that
could
in a
you
year.
wouldn't live. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
so that makes
I
sense.
was
It's like
really
wait,
scared.
that
I
number
was like,
doesn't
that
make
can't
sense
be
at
right.
all. Yeah. So college student is $17,200. Production assistant is $19,500. Series director is $42,500. Executive producer is $64,600. And then an A-list voice actor is $599,999.
Yes.
Which
Yep.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on?
I don't know about all these numbers, but
That's a huge difference.
so that was on Crunchyroll. It's a Shirobako guide to anime industry salaries. But yeah, just even numbers aside, if they're correct or not, it just shows you how like crazy the jobs
We
are.
talked about,
with
we
pay.
talked about this the last time
Yeah.
too, about the one guy gave us a whole behind the scenes about what it's really like. And as much as you love doing the animation, it's super stressful. You don't get
Yeah.
paid a lot, and it's kind of a cluster.
So, and that's the interesting thing because the other part of episode 4 is like, why are you guys doing this?
Yeah.
I relate to this so much. So Neil Del Toro said, this episode just got too real. I was expecting some Wonder Years type of narrator to kick in when it was Miyamori's turn to say what she wanted to accomplish in the anime industry, and she just went blank. That's some powerful stuff because so many first job flashbacks. Because like this is Miyamori's like dream job. This is like what she wants to do. But she's like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, then you
Yeah.
get there and you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, very, very relatable. I think I touched on this when we first started the watch party of when you're in an industry that, because for them, like, the anime is also a hobby. Like, they want to do it for their job, but they like anime in general. And she's like an anime fan. It reminds me of me. Like, you're like, I really like video games, really like anime. And then you get into the industry and you're like, oh, I already got here. What do I do now?
Yeah.
It was kind of like that actually with college too. Like my whole life was just like get into college, and then I got to college and I was like, wait, I don't even know what I want to study. Like, what am I doing?
Very true.
So, yeah, that's rough, buddy.
Real life. Real life.
And then as Megan Murphy reminds us at the very end of the episode, we watch over Miyamori's shoulder as she witnesses the beginning cracks of another crisis. And Osama wanting to quit his role for episode 8, and the director failing at a meeting
meeting his storyboard
quotas. Anyone else feel a slight swell in panic right as the credits rolled? And then domino effect. Yeah, like there's just like so much going on.
Yes.
It's just like this show is it does not stop. And I think that's more so the first season. The second season has a little bit of a different tone, and kind of focuses on different things within anime production, but still the characters. But the first season is like,
Yeah, it's all about the frantic making of an anime and
Yeah.
how hard it really is.
Yeah.
So
Enjoying
Oh wait, we
very
didn't
much
talk
so
about
far.
the friends that they had a little get together.
Yeah, they did have
that's
a
when they
little
had their discussion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we talked a little like when she just goes blank. Yeah.
Oh okay, yeah, that's right. That's
It
right.
was so fun to see them hanging out though.
Yeah,
like
no,
Yeah.
these girls like meeting up.
But I get the feeling that that's going to be harder as they go on.
That's true.
How's this going to affect their friendship as they
Yeah.
get more advanced and more frantic? And I'm very curious to know how the story arc is going to go with the closeness of the friends.
They had a glance at each other there. You saw that?
Yeah.
What?
What
I don't know.
are you talking about?
I mean, like, I just wanted to say it does remind me of, like, at this point in my life, like, I have friends from high school and it's very hard to meet up with them. So seeing that scene just reminded me of that. Like, the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, yeah, it's like when you meet up with people and, like, you're kind of like, oh, talk about work, I guess. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
things are rough. Oh,
That's pretty
Okay,
much
bye.
it.
We'll see you next time.
okay,
Maybe,
bye.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's the whole thing. Was like Miyamoto's like, oh man, I didn't even notice how there was these things going on because it was just so busy and like it kind of is
Yeah.
realistic to like how when you get older you just get busy and it's hard.
Yeah.
It was definitely nice to see that though, just to have a break. And then even though like Taru was trying to call her or text her.
Oh,
right?
yes.
And like, as he starts going off, she just hangs up. I was like, good, do that.
Oh, man. So glad.
I just want to kick him in the teeth so bad. Like, get it together.
Seriously.
You are the problem.
Anyway.
I'm excited to keep watching.
All right.
Yeah.
Next week, episode
5 and 6.
5 and 6.
Yeah, so be sure to tune in. Send us your comments. We're so happy to read them and talk about them. Yeah. And we'll see you guys next week. You guys have anything else you want to promote before we go?
Super Team is finishing up.
Yep.
Z Fighters against
Z-Fighters.
X-Men.
Well, by the time the show airs, it will have finished. So view the results on
Okay.
IGN.com.
Wow.
Probably
Yes.
Z Fighters. They're like
Rooting for Z Fighters.
Anime.
killing them right now.
I got to review an Oculus Rift game.
Hey.
So that'll be up it'll be up Wednesday. The show airs on Wednesday. So as you're watching this, it's probably already on IGN.com or almost there.
There you go.
So that's really cool. VR is interesting.
Good.
Yeah.
The game was not as interesting. You will see. It's a really cool opportunity to be able to review something on Oculus. So
I am working on the Quantum Break wiki, so if you need help with collectibles, I've got you. So yeah, got all that. And also I wanted to promote that last week we had a really cool feature group that we all worked on with other people in the office. The 21 weirdest anime ever.
Oh,
so
it's
be sure to check
so
that
much
out.
fun.
It's a great
super
list.
fun
Yeah.
video. Max Scoville did the VO, and
It
it's
was
just it's really great.
Really great. So yeah, absolutely check that out. You can watch it on your apps, you can watch it on YouTube, all those places. Megan?
Yes. I'm going to stay all over Final Fantasy 15 for y'all. Probably will be working on more previews and reviews in the future. So be on the lookout for that. I usually announce that stuff on Twitter, which you can find me at Megan, MEGHAN_IGN.
And Mike?
Oh, you can follow me at Twitter at XPMNMs.
Yeah.
Inkydojiko, INKYDOJIKKO.
And me, I'm at Havoc Gross, and that's Havoc with a K. And this was Anime Club episode 48. So thank you guys so much for joining in. We'll see you all next week. Anime!
Yay, anime!
Bye!
Bye.
Bye.